Hey, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Diesel and you are watching the ShadeSnSoleS channel. Oh guys, it's so good to be back. Alright, now for my first episode back from a long ass hiatus, today we're going to be doing the real review for the Wade Fission 8. Now what you say is a real review for those of you guys who are new to the channel. Real review is where I talk about the shoes, about my experience with the shoe, my verdict of the shoe after playing with it, and whether the shoe is good for you or not. This is not a sponsored video, no nothing. Nobody bought me these shoes. I bought them all with my own money, so best believe I give you guys the whole truth and no holds barred in here, no holds barred. Alright, now I don't do unboxings anymore because I feel like I'll show you guys the box and all that stuff what came with the shoe anyways over here, so yeah, it's just gonna be a waste of my effort and my time doing an unboxing. I can just do that right here right now. Before we unbox the shoe, let's do a product description read. So obviously I got it from wayofwade.com. They still have this colorway. This is the panda colorway. How much does it cost? It costs $120. Now take a look at that price, $120. And by the way, if you guys want to skip through this part, just skip through it. I don't know if I'm gonna put chapters on this video or not, but yeah, 119 US dollars. So when we talk about 119 in other brands like Nike or Adidas, sometimes do have takedown model shoes. This is just a takedown price, okay? But listen to the entire video, because this shoe, what it has, it doesn't have takedown materials. All right, outstanding for outdoor play with forefoot and rear foot boom tech and light foam plus midsole, stable and supporting moves in every direction with heel lock and pro bar lock. Best choice for summer with breathable upper and cool shell. Okay, it's got additional features down here. Great. Tough OS, great traction, full length outsole, made of tough outsole rubber for a stronger grip, outstanding for outdoor play. Infinity patterns on outsole for less chances of rollover and sprains. We'll talk about that in the traction portion. Superior comfort, cool shell and breathable upper for a higher rate of sweat evaporation, providing dry and clean on-court feelings under feet. It has light foam and boom. So these are the booms located on the forefoot and the heel portion, and everything else that's connecting the shoe would be the light foam plus. Okay, forefoot and rear foot boom midsole and light foam technology for double bounce in performance, ensuring more energetic jumping and safer landing. Unique design, aerodynamic shape of frame with curves and line elements on the upper, reflecting natural growth and upward vitality. Environmental friendly theme. I'm not gonna even read that. That's not got nothing to do with performance. So product description reads done. Now let's check out the box. So the box come with this. Okay, Fission 8. Here's the side of the box. Infinity symbol, looks like a DNA. And product box tag reads, I can't read that, bro. Alright. Basketball on-court shoes. I got my true to size. And now it's time to check the shoes out. Let me lock this real quick. Alright. Okay, so when you get the shoes, it's gonna be like this. You got two pads right here. Obviously, I've already worn the shoe. Otherwise, I wouldn't be calling this a real review. And so it came with these guys also. Let me get this out. I can show you guys what other tech wasn't discussed that I was reading off of my phone. It has this like small tab. Okay, throw that in there. All right, that's what I like about Wade, because yeah, sometimes they don't have the drawings on the boxes, but they have this one, right? This little cards, light foam plus. Like I said, it's gonna be There's two different types of foams in there, light foam and boom. Okay, light foam. Go that back to the box. Cool shell, I've already read that. Got right here, I don't understand that. Okay, but for those of you guys that do, here you go. Heel lock right there. Okay. One of the cards over there that came with it. Pro bar lock. That's their shank plate. Tough outsole for outdoors. I don't know what this is. Recycled fiber. And this extra tag, which I don't know how to read. Alright, we're done with the box. Now it's time for the shoes. And before I even start, man, before I even start talking, let me just tell you guys right now, I love these shoes. Okay, I love these shoes. Okay, all right. Traction, you guys can see, and as what's written on this product description, traction is full of infinity symbols. Fission 8 right there. I haven't even, to be honest with you guys, when I got the shoe, I've seen that there are some of these little details. I didn't even get to read them. I didn't even care to read them. I saw them. I didn't care to read what they were because I was just too damn excited to wear the shoe. But as I go through the different parts of the shoe, we're just gonna go read through them, okay? So one of this is human versus nature is non-zero sum game. I don't know what the hell that means. See if it tells the same on the other side. Yes, it does. All right. Okay, there you go. There's the traction, right? So the traction, the infinity symbols, I don't know what it is with the infinity symbols, but it works, okay? So one of the best things about this shoe is actually the outsole. That tough outsole that they're using, the rubber compound that they're using here, bro, I will tell you right now, indoor, outdoor, okay? Indoor and outdoor, clean, dusty, mildly dusty, very dirty indoor courts. This works. Out of all the 4 shoes I'm testing right now, including this one, this is the only one that works anywhere, okay? And that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot. If I were to choose one shoe, if there is only one shoe that I would be playing in, it would be this one. Why? If I'm on a budget, right? It's only $120. If I'm on a budget, I could play this indoor and outdoor, no problem. Even if I play outdoor, go back indoor, this traction is still gonna work. And to me, that is hard to find nowadays because most of the shoes are just specific for indoors. Okay. Talking about this portion right here, they do act like a outrigger, but then at the same time it protects you from rolling your ankles too. Just by having that right there, it adds a little bit extra stability than it already has. All right, so we're done with the traction. Let's go with the midsole. Again, there's boom tech right here on the forefoot, and then inside here there's boom. What this black portion right here, that's that boom, together with this one right here, that's that boom. Everything else that's connecting the rubber inside is another rubber, which is what they were calling light foam. Now, if you guys are wondering how light foam feels, it basically feels like a mix of flow and I would say boost. Okay, what that lacks though is the spring back, just like how do I say it? What does Nike have? The Zoom. So Zoom has that spring back or bounce back, right? Now to compensate that in the shoe, there's also another thing about this shoe that wasn't mentioned in the product description read is that it has not just one midfoot shank, but two midfoot shanks. Okay, so obviously you guys can see this, right? There's one in the outer portion, midfoot shank right there, and it also extends towards your ankle bone or close to it, below it at least, right? Also inside here, I don't know if it can be seen, but I've seen a picture of this being cut in half, and let me just give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So inside that, you guys see, I don't know if you guys are able to see it, this one right here. So under the foot there is another midfoot shank. So midfoot shank right here on the bottom of the foot, and then midfoot shank right there on the outer portion of the shoe. Okay, so you have that for stability and for your balance, together with this outrigger. Remember, this shoe is just $120. You get two different types. You get two different types of rubber. You have two you call this midfoot shanks at the same time. Okay, so that's it for the midsole. And if you guys want to ask how the midsole works, if you guys have followed me for a long time, I've always said a mixture of great court feel and great cushion is so hard to find. I found that within this shoe. Not only does it have great cushion and great court feel, because of these two shanks, the one inside, the one outside, this actually makes you move fast and makes you run quicker. For some reason, the spring, how I mentioned that Zoom makes an energy return or something like that, this one actually propels you. So there may not be that much energy return here on the rubbers, but those midfoot shanks make up for it, and you will actually feel it. You feel very light. The shoe is very light already. Makes you very light on your feet. The first time I played again on a league, this was the shoe that I was wearing, and I didn't feel heavy at all. Even if I gained weight, this shoe made me feel like I was light on my feet, as if I was playing for a long time when I've had a long ass hiatus and me not being able to play. Okay, that's how good the mixture just from the outsole and the midsole of this shoe has done for me. Okay, details right here, you see the boom right there, body, spirit, sole. Okay, light foam plus. All right, there you go. That's the midsole. Now time for the upper. The upper, there's a lot of things going on here. Okay, all right, so you guys can see, obviously the main portion is a mesh, right? Main portion is a mesh, but underneath that mesh, let me see if I could untie this real quick. Let me just pause this. I'll get back to you guys after I untie this lace. All right, I got the laces untied. All right, so I said mesh right there, mesh. Tongue is also mesh, right? But when we check out inside right here on the forefoot portion, you see that neoprene. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like honeycomb portions right there, and it's a little bit foamy inside, but it doesn't feel. So that neoprene portion is from here to here, to the forefoot, and then underneath this mesh is like honeycomb foamy cushion lining. Okay, that's for added protection, because if this was just straight mesh, imagine if somebody was to step on your toes and that would be it for you, right? You got this fused material right here for toe drags. There you go, that's the upper. Now check out the tongue. Some people like it, some people don't. This is very thin. I personally like thin tongues, but for my personal preference, inside this is there. So you know how I said this is thin, right? They made this like this, and it has foam inside. Now I have a very high cuneiform, I don't know how you pronounce it, cuneiform or cuneiform, bony portion of the medial side of the foot. That's that portion right here. Mine is very prominent, right? And where that sits, for me personally, where my bone sits, that cuneiform, is where the stitching is at. So I love the shoe. If I had the right foot, I would go to this shoe all the time. But my problem, my personal problem, may not be your problem. So me, objectively speaking, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it will not work for you. Because I have, like I said, a prominent portion of the cuneiform on my foot, but you guys might not. You guys might just be like this. So this foamy portion with the stitching could work for you. It didn't for me because it keeps rubbing off and irritating my bone. But for you guys, I guarantee you this shoe is very light. And man, if only my bone in that portion was just low. But I did find, if you guys ever get to that point where you get the same issue, do wear cushioned socks, like if it's cushioned on that top portion, and that mitigates the problem. I've tried that on my last 2 runs with this, and it worked perfectly. Okay, so this being just mesh, right, has a good cool down right here, like your feet doesn't stay warm at all. So that's one benefit of it. Before I forget, see these strings right here? So when you do tie up the laces, this is included right there, it pulls this just a little bit, right? And it adds support on that portion. So this plus this rubbing onto my cuneiform, that's what irritates it. Now on the collar portion of the shoe, the first time you're gonna wear this, it gets uncomfortable because this one right here, this isn't a soft material. Look at that, right? It's not soft material. So if you're not used to rough edges on your anterior portion of your ankle, it's gonna be hurting you, okay? But just a word of caution. So I've never laced them up all the way here. I've only laced them up on that jacket type, okay? But I'm sure if you guys were to put the laces up here, it would add more support. So on the heel portion of the shoe, check this out. You get an external heel counter. You get this perfectly shaped heel cup right here that contains your heel, right? That's where your heel sits. And then inside, you also get an internal heel counter. So 2 rubbers, a working outsole, 2 midfoot shanks, an upper that cools you down. Did I say 2 heel counters? Yes, I did, right? Everything in this shoe works. There is nothing about this shoe that doesn't work. Oh, and also, if you guys notice the shape, right? This has a high arch, and this is even the lateral side. Now check out the medial side. Same thing, right? Still has a high arch to get with the use of that midfoot shank right there. Now, what does that mean? So even if you have a high arch foot, or me, I just got diagnosed with plantar fasciitis to the point where my arch has already dropped. Even me, without putting, you guys have seen the insoles on this, it was hella flimsy, right? Even just with that, but because of the shape of the shoe, this shoe worked for me, okay? I'm not saying I don't put tapes during my games because I do, just for protection and to avoid further injury. But even without changing the insole on this, this has worked for me. Overall, man, like this shoe, my verdict of the shoe for 120. If this was any brand, man, for the materials that they've used, how good the shoe is overall, I see this shoe going 180. Me personally, I see this shoe going 180. This could be somebody's signature shoe, right? But yeah, I totally recommend this. Out of the 4 shoes that I'm working with right now, I would pick this. This works everywhere. This is cheap. This works everywhere. It has all the features that I need, except for the top portion, like I told you guys. But then I've found ways to mitigate the pain. So yeah, I'm not thinking about it, but I have been going back and forth with this shoe. When I'm testing other shoes, sometimes I just have to go back to this because I really love this shoe. Before I even stop, I remember I asked you guys questions about this one. So for the first question was Janicia's, right? Okay, let's see this right here. What was your question? Is it really designed for outdoor use? Is cushion great? Thanks, bro. And I responded, we'll include this one on the video. Thanks, Janicia's. What was that? Janicia's 63. All right. So as I mentioned, right, this was advertised as an outdoor shoe because of the tough outsole. But I've mentioned before that if a shoe is good for outdoor, there's no reason that it won't be good indoor. Okay. The better part of this shoe is that even if you play this outdoors, right, the rubber, they don't chip off easily. Like they were made for outdoors, to a point where when you get back playing this indoors, it's still gonna work. All right, so that's the answer to that question. The next question is, would you pick Fission 8 over the 8083 regular? So that question was from B3LLVM. Belvim? I don't know how he calls it, but I said I currently don't have the 8083 regulars, but I have the Ultra 3s. I'll do the comparison to that one instead on my video. Okay, let me grab my 8083s real quick. All right. 8083s, right? To me, the 8083 Ultras, they're good, man. When I find, as I mentioned in my video, when I was hurting here, right, on the cuneiform portion of my foot, this was the shoe I go back to. Feels light. The cushion, I even feel the cushion on this one is a little bit too thick. I'm not gonna say too high off the ground, but it's thick for me. But that's my personal opinion on it, right? But like I said, if given the choice, I'd be picking this. Okay, just for pure functionality and the price in itself, because this one's pretty good too. I'm not gonna say this one isn't good, but if I had a choice, money wise, practicality wise, I'd choose this one. Okay. Next, how is sizing? Okay. And I said this was from Revive Reviews. This question is actually very essential to the shoe, not just a mere heel to toe answer. We'll include this for sure in the real review. Sizing. I went through the size. When I was on my hiatus, I did something that I didn't do while I was doing my reviews, which was watch other people's videos. Okay, when I watched other people's videos, sizing was everywhere. When they were talking about the sizing, I personally went with true to size. That's the reason. I'm not saying that their reviews are bad. I've said this once before. I'm not saying other reviewers have bad reviews. It's just that when I compare my sizing to them, it just never works. So that's why sometimes when I take the risk about buying shoes that are not that I cannot try on in here state-wise, I just go true to size. And that's what I did with this, and I'm glad that I did, because heel to toe is perfect for me. Some people say it's narrow. The shoe doesn't feel narrow, because for me, I took out all the laces right before I wore them. Okay, and I was trying to find ways for my foot not to hurt in this portion. So it's not narrow, it's just low right here. Okay, again, they're saying this is narrow, but it's just low on this portion. So if you have somebody like me who has a high anterior portion arch of the foot, just loosen it up. Don't tighten up the laces way too much, because the shoe itself, the structure, is very supportive already. Okay, I'm not saying don't tie your laces. Well, obviously you need to tie your laces when you're playing, otherwise you're gonna screw yourself over, right? But just be cautious with it, and then test it out real quick. Walk around with it or jog with it right before you play, if you had the lacing right or not. But for me personally, I went true to size. Okay, next question. Have you tried the leaning JB1? And that was from Chris Kick 17. I said too expensive for me to buy and try. All right, I don't have the leaning Jimmy Butler one. Ja 1 or Sabrina 1s? Again, that was from Chris Kicks. I said no plans in buying the Ja 1s, and the reason why is because I've seen it in person and it just feels like a takedown model. For a signature athlete, and you getting just like takedown model, what do you call this, materials, I just didn't see any worth in even trying it out, because I've tried multiple Nike shoes that were of the tier material wise with the Ja 1s, and I don't feel like it would be any different. So, but I did say might cop the Sabrina 1s though. I've seen the Sabrina 1s in store. They are in store. I didn't buy them yet because I'm waiting for a solid traction option, solid rubber traction option. All right, well, I think that was it. And what you guys think, comment down below if you guys have any questions. For those of you guys that are hitting me up, trying to welcome me back and all that good stuff, giving me positive vibes, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I've been through a lot over these past few months, and you guys, for short, you guys encourage me in getting back to my passion, which is playing ball. And then while I'm playing ball, I get to share with you guys my experience with the shoes that I'm buying. Okay, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support from the bottom of my heart, and please subscribe to the video, or subscribe to the channel, like the video to help the channel out. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support. It's your boy Diesel signing off. Peace out.